Hey guys, back again. So now let me just take a look at where we are. So we already have the store. Okay, it's been a couple of days since I recorded the last part. So we already have the store. We are storing and first validating and then handling the images in order to store, well, here to store the properties inside our MySQL. So what we need to do now is to go to the index and return what we have inside the database. So this is, you will see that this is different. So I'm using the new Edge. I just installed that yesterday. So let's try it actually. Looks a lot like Chrome. So what we're going to do now is that we need to say, okay, remember that with PHP we need to do the $sign to set it as a variable. So post is going to be equal to post colon colon, and here we're going to use all in order to get everything from the database. So here, instead of returning only the view, what we're going to do is set with, okay, we add this in order to add information that is going to be given to the template. So we're going to say post, and we're going to add what we want to add using this name of posts. So it's going to be the post variable. Okay, so far so good. Now we need to go to the views, to the index. Can I double click that? Okay, and just let me go. Okay, and we need to add the code in order to receive what we have from the posts. So now we only have this section. So let's remove this and say h2, no, h1, no, h2, posts, and h2. So here I'm going to set an image. Okay, but we still don't have that yet. I should be able to do this. Yep, image. It's going to be class shape because this is going to go later in order to add it, well, to add some style onto the page. Source. I'm typing that wrong. Okay, source. And it's going to be like that. So I will show you this later. Right now, we're going to only add it. The next thing is going to be the div with class posts container. We need to close this div. Now, in order to say or to check if we're receiving something, we're going to say this add if. We're going to check for the count of the posts. If we receive something more than 0, then let me just close this, and if, let me just indent that and say for each. So if we find something inside the posts, okay, for each posts as post, so this is the actual post that we're going to parse in a way, and this is all the posts that we're going to receive. So now let's say div, just give me a second. Well, let's see, div class post. I haven't changed my keyboard, so I should buy it tomorrow. So that's why I'm kind of struggling trying to type because some keys are kind of stuck. H reference, even though I always make some typos. So H reference is going to be posts. So now we're going to redirect here in this anchor to what we want. So we're going to do this, something like Angular, okay, if you are used to Angular. So we're going to receive the post, and from the post, in order to get what we want, we need to add an arrow and say ID. Okay, let's just remove those spaces. Okay, and that should work. So we're going to use the ID in order to build this redirection. Okay, I don't know why I closed that there. So let's close it there. And here we're going to say div class cover. And just let me add this style in order for it to. Okay, so we're going to say a style between a single quotes. We're going to say the background URL. So this is coming from the storage cover. So let me just take a look at this. So it's storage app public covers, and we have those two covers that are referenced inside, or two posts that we have inside the MySQL. So we need to go to storage covers and then say the name of the cover that we have referenced in the post. So this is actually what is saved inside the database. So from this, okay, this is going to be only the link, although we could add this paragraph inside the link, but let's just add it outside in case we want to do something. So post title. Okay, so you can see that using this arrow, we're going to get all the properties that we have inside the database. Okay, so this is the for each, and we're going to do something else at else if we don't have posts to display, because this is something that you should care when you're building this kind of applications. Not showing a white page. Usually what you could do here, so let's say class no posts, is to add an image, you know, some an SVG, and tell the user that there are no posts. There are no posts to display. Start adding posts to show something like that, you know. And you can give them a link in order to create the you know, so they can click and go to the create page, something like that, you know. Right now this is good, and okay, so this should work. So let's save this and let's go back to Edge, refresh. We need to refresh here, and you can see something. We have the post and we have the data and the second post, which are the titles from the post that we have stored in MySQL. The only thing is that we don't have the images, okay, because we can reach those. So in order to reach those, we're going to cancel the server here just a moment and say PHP artisan, and let's add a colon. Sorry, not like this. Storage. We need to add a Symlink in order to get the images, the covers or avatars or whatever that are stored in the public covers folder. So let's say enter, and you can see the public storage directory has been linked. So now we can add, or we can get the images. So let me just get that using the syntax storage covers. Okay, so let's go to the application, and now I can remember this should be, well, let's just do this. Let's just refresh. Okay, because I forgot to do that. Sure, PHP artisan serve, it starts pretty fast, and as you can see we have this because these are the images, and if I did that correctly, okay, I didn't close the div. That's actually pretty neat. Okay, let's close that div. No, as I said, I haven't recorded in a while, and well, I kind of lost track of this, but this is just how things are. Now, what we could do now, let me just check the time. 10 minutes. So let me just go to my, so let's go back here. So far so good. We're going to do something here. Just give me a second. So I need to remember. Okay, we need to go to AppBlade, the layout, and I think I have. No, I don't have that yet. So we're going to add now the CSS because since these are divs, okay, then we cannot see unless we give them height. So what we are going to do is say, well, let's say like this link relationship style sheet. Let's type it as reference. It's going to be from the assets folder, the CSS main .css, and let's just close this, and that should work. So we need to go to public. We just go from here. So you can see we have the app.css. Let's just add a main .css. Yep. And we already have, okay, so we have the app.js, but we're going to add the functions.js now. So let's just do this. And well, let's save it and let's go back to that folder and say new text document functions.js. Okay, so far so good. So let's save this again and let's just go back. Okay, you can see JS functions. Okay, seems that I missed an S there, so let's add an S there. And you can see the only problem here is that we don't have the presentation SVG that we will add later. We might do that using Adobe XD. I'm still not sure, but let's see how we go in the next videos. Okay, so in fact, this should go here. Okay, just to keep it organized. Okay, so far so good. Now we only need to add inside our public folder and main CSS. We need to add the next code. So let's say, well, let me just import. I got this from Google Fonts. You can get any font you want. I'm going to use Martel. It's Martel, right? Martel Sans. Okay. Let's add the body. So background kind of whitish. Martel Sans is the font, and let's refresh. You can see that we change. Okay, that it changed how it looks. So that means that we have the style linked. So let's say container, shape, and hero, which we still don't have those, but we will have the CSS now in case we want to add them later, which we are going to do. So let's add the nav and the header. So all this, you can style your application however you want. So let's say nav, navul, navula, all this is from the URL for the URL, and header You can see. Okay. So here we are, header h1 and the rest. Okay, header h1, header p, main flex, main section I mean, flex and section flex second row, and post container, posts container. Okay, so you can see how it's changing, and we only need to get the post cover and post. Okay, so let me just grab those and add them. Okay, post, post hover, post p, cover, and cover hover. Let's save that and refresh. And you can see we have these two images which are coming from the posts or from the data that we have stored in the database. So far so good. Let me just check if we have something else. Okay, right now we don't need to add anything else. Nice. Okay, so far we have this, and let's stop now, and we will add the get functionality in order to, because let me show you, if we do this, we're not going to go anywhere because we don't have, okay, we don't have that functionality yet. So we will add this in the next video just to keep them in short, since Laravel has a ton of things that you will need to handle, to have short videos for you to watch, and that will make it easier in order for you to start using Laravel. So see you in the next one.